Hey guys, I'm Seyka.
I'm Brian.
And we're making a baby. We've got a baby fully cooked in here, just about. We are 34 weeks, but tomorrow we're 35 weeks. So we're really almost to our estimated due date. We've got some really cool...
5 more weeks.
5 more weeks.
Yep.
We've got we've been just absorbing so much really great content that's preparing us for birth and for parenthood. And we're excited to share with you a little bit today about kind of what we're feeling, what we're experiencing, and what this whole process has been like for us. So any words of wisdom from your experience so far going through as an engaged birthing partner?
It's a good question. No, I think it's just useful to have the birthing partner, the husband or boyfriend or partner, whoever it may be, to try to learn as much about what's going on and with pregnancy and what will happen at birth as well. Because, I mean, I don't know yet, I haven't done it, but I really think that once the day comes, because I've been learning a lot, that I'm not going to be the expert, right? But as soon as people are talking about things or midwives are recommending something, it'll come to me and I'll be able to jump in and be more helpful more quickly. And that, I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, just consuming all the information, even if you maybe don't memorize it all, it's now kind of in your mind so that when it's mentioned on the day of birth, you're like, oh, right, got this, I read this, I've seen this already.
Yeah, and I think even just selfishly, I think I've heard a lot about men being really pretty scared during birth and seeing their wives go through something so crazy, so big, and maybe screaming and crying out and not really being able to do anything. And maybe there's not a lot you can do, but even just knowing that, okay, this step in the process is what should be happening, this is natural, will be really comforting both for you and for me as well. And knowing that, okay, like just today we were talking about at transition, it's very, very common for women the birthing person to be very like over it, quite frankly, and wanting out or whatever it may be. And then, but it's knowing that that's common and knowing that that is a short period that will pass, and that can help both of us like keep our adrenaline down, keep our heart rate down, and get through that phase, and then be ready for the baby to be here.
Right. Yeah, it's so we're taking this educational course called the Positive Birth Co. And one of the things that you get when you buy into this birthing education is access to their Facebook group where people share their own personal stories. So that's written from the perspective of all the birthing people. And I love to go through and I read the stories, and I specifically like to read first-time parent stories, first-time birth stories, because first and second births tend to be quite different. And so I like to read a lot of first-time births that were able to be natural the whole way through. And it's so interesting because these people go in, so committed to having a natural birth, and yet it's almost invariably at transition, they say, I said, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Give me the drugs, take me to the hospital. Let's go. It's over. And that's a relatively short period, the transition period. And even when the birthing person's, their whole story it was one of the most amazing, powerful, empowering, brilliant, beautiful experiences they've ever had. And they're literally sad birth is over. And yet transition spikes you with these hormones and these chemicals flooding through your body that make you go, there's an emergency. And so it's just really great to know that and to be able to, have that influence. Another book that I'm reading right now was just saying that it's really great for the birthing partner to be involved because it can be so... Like, oftentimes the birthing person and their birthing partner are so connected, and I know that this is true for us, that what can happen is the birthing person is going through so much pain, the birthing partner is in excruciating pain because they're witnessing the birthing person going through so much pain. And that can make it harder for the birthing person because they're going, oh no, I'm hurt. My pain is hurting you. And so then the birthing person now has to like juggle that as well. So just to your point a little bit more there, just you being able to be like, this is normal, this is good, and not feel panicked by any panic that comes up is, I think, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So fun. So also, if you guys are noticing our energy's a little different, we're both really tired today. We're both, just feeling a little wiped out. So if our energy's a little low, that's why.
Yeah, but we're getting through it.
We're getting through it.
Do you have any words of wisdom?
I think listening to yourself, knowing yourself, and then listening to yourself is really, really powerful. I like to know what's going on. I like to understand it from a psychological and a biological perspective. And heading into probably, one of the most physically intensive things of my life, I really want to understand kind of all the aspects that I can of birth. And that's been really, really wonderful for me. So I know that there are some people that's not their perspective, that they really want to go in mostly with intuition, and you got to figure that out for yourself and really follow that. This is one of the biggest things that you'll ever go through. And so, I recommend studying it and researching it the way you would, your biggest decisions that you make in life, and go into it with deciding how you're going to go into it. So
it's cool.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Awesome.
You want to do the
symptoms?
Symptoms.
All right, let's do 2 different weeks. Last week and now this week.
Okay.
So last week, it's calling out varicose veins.
What about that one?
Oh, yeah. I thought we talked about this a lot last time, but I'll do it again. Strong fetal movement. I guess that has gotten a lot stronger. So I'm going to go with yes. We're playing a game where I read a symptom and guess if she's been experiencing it.
It usually gets him in trouble, but we'll see this time.
Strong fetal movement, yes.
Yes, that's true. It's crazy. I just feel him moving around, dancing around. It's wild.
You can see him bouncing out.
You can see him moving around my stomach in big ways. It's so crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, varicose veins. This one is interesting because you already have them. So, but I don't think I've heard of them getting worse. So I'm going to say no new symptoms there.
That's right.
All right.
I've had them since I was 15, and they haven't really gotten worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Round ligament pain. If your belly's aching when you change positions or get up suddenly, you could be suffering from round ligament pain or growing pains. As long as it's occasional and you don't have fever, chills, or bleeding along with it, there's nothing to worry about. Get off your feet, and getting off your feet and getting comfy helps. I think you've had some of that, right?
Yep. I've had some of that. My chiropractor helps so much in kind of helping me figure out postural ways of adjusting that. So I've got a lot of exercises that I do every day that help me kind of make sure that my abdominals are strong for pregnancy, right? So it's not abdominal movements I've ever done in my whole life before. It's very gentle, but it's stretches and it's strength movements that are specifically designed to help me hold my body correctly. And that's been amazing. Really, really great.
That's cool. Nail changes. Hormones can make your nails grow faster, but also become more brittle. I haven't heard you say anything about that, so I'm going to say no.
I don't think so. I haven't noticed it.
All right, we'll keep an eye out.
All right.
Shortness of breath. I think that's been pretty normal for a lot of this pregnancy.
Yeah, it's really funny. Sometimes I'll just be sitting here and I'll be like, because baby's just taking up all my lung space. It's really funny.
Yeah. Clumsiness. The big belly makes it tougher to control your center of gravity. A little, but not that much. You haven't been particularly clumsy.
What about on our hike? I look like a deer. A newborn baby deer with my ankles.
Oh, wobbly ankles, yeah. Yep, the relaxin in your body's causing your ankles to be all wobbly.
That's crazy. Yeah, I can just flop right off my foot like any given moment. It's really wild.
Yeah, so we gotta make sure you're wearing
ankle high boots and just generally be more careful because I'm a wobbly woman.
Yeah. Pregnancy brain. The foggy brain could clue you into your baby's sex. Strange but true. Pregnant women with girls tend to be more forgetful than moms to be who are carrying boys. I didn't know that was true. Wow. Well, we already know that we're carrying a boy, so that would check out because you've not had that much pregnancy brain.
A little bit, though.
A little bit, but like not like what you hear about.
Right.
Yeah. And then Braxton Hicks. I feel like you've said you've had a little bit, like once or twice. You've had like stronger, like what's comparable to like period. What is the word?
Cramps?
Cramps.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, every once in a while I'll get a a pretty gnarly period cramp and then it's not anymore. And it happens like, I don't know, once every couple days or sometimes a couple of times in a day if we're doing a lot of activity.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Bloating and gas. Again, I don't think you've really had much of this. Maybe a little.
I don't really know.
I know I feel like that's my default answer here, but like, yeah, it's not been a significant one.
How would I know if I was bloating?
It's a good question.
Like, my stomach's so big. How is it? How do you know if it's bloating?
It might be more of a feeling.
I don't know. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, so we ate a lot. So maybe, but no, I don't think I haven't felt that due to pregnancy at all.
Okay, what about constipation? Also, this one's come up a lot during pregnancy, during the symptom tracker. And they keep saying it, and I feel like you've only had it a little bit early on, and you haven't had it since.
I had like one day that I was like a little less regular than normal, but no, you're right, I haven't had it. And also, there's some research that I recently found that shows really great natural birth outcomes when women are eating dates regularly, also drinking red raspberry leaf tea. And so I drink red raspberry leaf tea a couple times a day, and I'm supposed to have 6 dates a day, and dates are a natural laxative a little bit, very mild, so that's probably helping too, but I've just recently started that, and they're delicious.
Wow.
I'm going to make some banana bread with dates in it, so just upping my date intake.
What about this one? Increased vaginal discharge. I don't think so. I don't know. You tell me.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. It's not super obvious. Like sometimes my panties have a little extra on them, and that makes a lot of sense to me.
Extra estrogen causes increased blood flow, which stimulates the mucous membranes.
Yeah, that checks out. But yeah.
Hemorrhoids. Wow. If it sounds like it's really common if you have a lot of constipation. So I'm going to go no there.
Yeah, I honestly don't really know what hemorrhoids are. Me either. But I don't have them.
Cool. Backaches. You've definitely had backaches, but I don't feel like you've been complaining about them too much recently, which is wild.
Yeah.
Is that true?
My back hurts a fair amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's just that tough, you guys.
if there's nothing I can do about it, I just kind of have to get, go get on my pregnancy pillows, basically what fixes it. So, yeah, but that's one I'll be happy to be done with.
Yeah. Leg cramps. Basically sounds like, the change in weight, swelling, and fatigue are all at their peak, so you could feel muscle spasms in your legs. No. I'm going to say no.
He's right.
Sweet. I forgot I was supposed to guess.
That'd be really annoying to me.
Stretch marks. You have had some stretch marks.
Yep, only on my boobs.
It's painful, it sounds like.
They suck. But they're kind of cool, too, because they're like, I made a baby, and now I've got tiger stripes to prove it.
Yeah.
You also have a baby to prove it, so I maybe don't need proof on my boobs, but that's what we got.
Edema. Every time. Edema, swelling in feet and ankles.
You thinking about edamame?
I don't know what I was thinking about. Probably. You've had some swelling, but nothing too crazy. Again, every symptom for you. Our midwife said that, asked you if your ankles have been swelling. You're like, yeah, see? And she was like, that's not very much. So.
Yeah, I've had a few days that I'm like, oh, my ankles look funny, but it's just because I know what my ankles look like. They don't actually feel like they're swelling badly.
Fast growing and lustrous hair, but not always in places you want. I'm gonna say no on that one.
Wow, that's so funny. Okay, well.
Cheeks, chin, and back.
Wow, I haven't had any. Well, you tell me if I have any on my back.
No,
I can't see my back, so I don't know. But no cheeks, no chin. In fact, my body hair seems like it's not been growing. Like I shave, and thank goodness, because it is so hard to shave my legs, you guys. It's really difficult. Talk about being out of breath. I'm like huffing and puffing in the shower, like trying to shave my legs. But they'll go like, I think I shaved them like 2 weeks ago, and it feels like I shaved them yesterday. So anyway, they are not. That's not growing, but I do feel like I need to get my hair done earlier than I do usually. So maybe my head hair is growing.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Insomnia. I think you've been getting woken up early. So it's been common a fair amount of the time that you'll start waking up at like 5:30 or some random time, even though it wasn't a full night's sleep, and you'll just be wide awake. You'll read stories or something. So I think you've had some insomnia, but again, not that bad. You're a champion sleeper.
Yeah. I feel so lucky. I don't even feel like I get to complain about it. Like a handful of nights, I wake up a few hours early. So
cool. And then the last one is leaking colostrum from your boobs. You've had some of that.
Yeah. So it's actually crazy. I don't have any leaking, but if I squeeze my nipple, I can get the like milky drop to come out. That was really crazy. That actually started 7 weeks ago. It was like 27 weeks or something crazy. The first time I did it, I was in the shower and I like yelled so loud. I was like, Brian! You came in, you were like, what? I was like, look at my boob. I gotta show you.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So they are successfully making milk machines right here. And that's really fun to know. But it doesn't like leak as far as I can tell. Oh, fun fact, actually. TMI, probably. But what happened before that day is that I looked at my nipples and I was like, are they dirty? Like, I've never seen them look like this before. This is so weird. And then I didn't think much of it. I washed them, didn't think much of it. And then I was talking to my midwife a little later and she goes, yeah, well, in a few weeks you might start seeing like a little bit of something show up on your nipples, but the colostrum will really just look like, something crusty on your nipples. And I was like, that's what's happening. So if you're pregnant and you see something weird on your nipples, it might be that it leaked a little bit and then dried, and there you go.
Wow.
So that's pretty fun.
Yeah. So in summary, you don't get that many symptoms, and when you get them, they're mild.
Yes.
And you're a champion.
It's great. I feel really, really lucky about this pregnancy. I also know that I am, every week, I'm investing a lot of love into taking care of my body well. I listen to the foods that she asks to eat and not eat. When I eat a lot of sugar, I get incredibly thirsty, so thirsty that it's brutally uncomfortable. And so I try to be very attentive to what my body's asking for me to eat and not eat. We go for walks every day, and every morning. I do yoga every afternoon. It's mild, but I make sure to stay active. I am not as good at resting as I should be, but it's all right. I'm working on it. And maybe by the end of the pregnancy, I'll get better at that.
I'm trying to encourage her to, but it's not easy with this one.
It's not easy. You do a really great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Eating like lots of vegetables and fruits and good nutrient dense foods. And I see a chiropractor, and I really invest in kind of educating myself to know what should be going on. And so I just say all that to say, not to brag about how all the things that I'm pouring into it, but just to say that I think if you definitely, pregnancy is different for everyone. So some people it's just going to be harder for, but you have the opportunity and you have the choice to make it a really powerful and healthy pregnancy. And it's not, you don't get to just kind of do whatever, especially if your lifestyle wasn't very healthy before the pregnancy. So if you're considering getting pregnant, or you're thinking about it, or you are pregnant now and you're like, I'm experiencing a lot of discomfort, consider, really making those changes, because a lot of those changes, it feels so small to go outside and go for a 30-minute walk every morning. You're like, oh, really? Wow, that's going to make a big impact. Yeah, it really will. On your life, on your mood, on your energy, on your breathing, on the way your muscles work, on the way your blood pumps. Like, yes, it really will. And so these little changes, these little tweaks, and these habits that you can make can really make a big impact on how you feel.
It's cool.
It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we do have the baby's name picked out, and we are going to be putting up some really cool wallpaper. We worked with a company called Limitless Walls, and they're a really cool organization. They've got really beautiful wallpapers that you can choose their images. They had really beautiful images. We ended up uploading actually one of our own images from our trip. We did a 21 country trip around the world, and then right before that trip, it wasn't part of that trip, but we had gone to New Zealand, and we had gone through and selected one of our pictures from that trip, and we're about to put it up on the nursery wall, and we'll show you guys that. That'll be posted on Instagram. So we're really excited.
#ad.
Yeah, #ad. That was a collaboration. You can get a discount you can check it out on Instagram. You can check it out on the blog. You can get a discount if you want to use a Limitless Walls wallpaper by using our discount code. I'll also put it in the show notes. I can't remember it right now, baby brain. We also have a really cool, I'm so excited to show off the nursery because it's really starting to come together. And yeah, it's really weird being pregnant during COVID and having this whole experience when we can't see people very often. We can't show off the belly in person, and can't, have to make really thoughtful and hard decisions about how to introduce the baby to people during this strange time of life. What else is coming up? We also have recently posted a blog with our favorite childbirth education. So it has some of our favorite books, favorite podcasts, The Positive Birth Co. is on there, and it's got some really cool materials for you to check out. So if you're liking any of these things we're referencing, that'll be a great place to look for it, and that'll be in the show notes as well.
Fantastic.
Anything else you want to mention before we log off this time?
I don't think I have anything.
All right, you guys. Well, hopefully in our next video, we can take you on a nursery tour. But until then, thank you guys so much for joining us and being along on this ride. Please feel free to shoot us a message or leave a comment to let us know what you're interested in seeing next time. And we'll talk to you soon.